Taking a look at the forces challenging for control of the Venice Municipal Airport has allowed us to unearth a treasure trove of new information about America's secret history. But before delving into that battle for control, there's one startling new discovery we've made, which places everything else in its proper, if incredible, historical context, and which finally makes sense of the metamorphosis of Hoffman Aviation's owner, while Muhammad Atta was in residence, from a retired Midwestern insurance executive, clandestine services operator, and international drug trafficker. It happened way back when, in the early 1980s, in the early days of the Reagan administration's William Casey's reign as CIA director. Wally Hilliard first got rich, working for someone hardly anyone has ever heard about. The man who paid the men who stare at goats. Wally Hilliard's connection to U.S. intelligence goes back to at least 1981. Myron DuBain was an OSS operative during World War II with lifelong ties to America's clandestine service. While DuBain was the chairman of Fireman's Fund Insurance, he made Wally Hilliard rich when he bought out his Green Bay, Wisconsin insurance company. DuBain later founded a San Francisco supper club with oil man Gordon Getty and Reagan Secretary of State George Shultz. Amazingly, we discovered that Myron DuBain had been named the chairman of the Stanford Research Institute, later called SRI International, back in 1985 when it was in the middle of doing classified research into psychic viewing. DuBain took over just as concerned about a psychic arms gap was growing in the U.S. Defense Department. SRI worked under a multi-million-dollar U.S. Defense Department contract studying psychic behavior. The U.S. military and the CIA used psychics to spy on Soviet weaponry and to find General Manuel Noriega. It may be incredible, but it's also a real piece of America's real secret history. The man who owned the flight school that taught Muhammad Atta to fly first got rich working for the man who paid the men who stare at goats. Most men, when they retire to Florida, pick up a hobby: golf, woodworking, shuffleboard. Maybe they buy a boat. Wally Hilliard bought his own Air Force. Soon after Hilliard retired in Naples, Florida in 1996, he began to purchase what soon grew into a fleet of 30 to 40 luxury jets and regional airliners. What was a retiree in Florida doing with a bigger Air Force than Panama? One of Florida Air's disgusted former employees, a career airline executive, told us nothing made sense. We had only 2 meetings in the whole time I was there. Every time we called a meeting, we'd hear that Wally had just flown to Cuba or something. It was as if he was just pretending to run an airline. Pretending to run an airline may just be a polite way of saying the airline was just cover for something else. We learned another big clue about the true purpose of Wally Hilliard's supposed airline from a Venice aviation executive who refused to go on camera.
They've been paying them
all this time?
At least 6 months or 8 months. The pilots are getting regular paychecks, and they're not flying, and they're continuing to pay them.
The Venice Municipal Airport, Muhammad Atta's home base during his time in the U.S., has also been home to spooks and spies for more than a generation. And Wally Hilliard owned jets that flew at least 39 weekly flights into Orlando carrying drugs. We've been reporting these facts for more than 6 years, but the real import, what these words really mean, to our understanding of what happened on September 11th in the year 2001, even today leaves us almost speechless.